I apologize that I do not speak Mandarin. So I have a beautiful translator.
我会帮他翻译一下，简短的大概翻译一下他讲的。
So Jingzhan, Yao Chen, Eva, distinguished guests, I'm truly humbled and honored to be here among so many heroes.
他很高兴能够跟张晶女士、伊娃女士还有姚晨先生一起在这个地方参加这个论坛。
And I thank Jingzhan and women's rights in China for all they did to make this conference a reality. Have you said that already? Okay. Okay. On September 25th of 2015, it marked the 35th anniversary of the one-child policy. And China has recently said that they have implemented a two-child policy.
Yeah.
But the same human rights abuses under the one-child policy will continue under the two-child policy.
2015年9月25号是这个中国的计划生育35周年，然后最近呢，中国政府就开放了这个二孩政策，但实际上二孩政策对中国的妇女和中国这个社会的就是侵害还是一样的，并没有减弱。
As Chen Guangchen said when China announced the two-child policy, there's no reason to celebrate. Before, they would kill every baby after one. Now they kill every baby after two.
就像陈光诚先生说的，并没有什么这个二孩政策的开放并没有什么好庆祝的，因为之前是他们会把第二个孩子杀害，而现在就是把第三个孩子杀害。
So third children will continue to be forcibly aborted, and also unmarried women will continue to be forcibly aborted.
所以就是超生的孩子还是会被流产，会被强制流产，然后未婚先孕的女士也还是会受到强制流产。
I'm an attorney. I'm a graduate of Yale Law School, and I was a litigator in San Francisco for 8 years. And while I was a litigator in San Francisco for 8 years, I represented Chinese refugees in their cases for political asylum in the United States.
Reggie 女士是耶鲁大学法学院毕业的，她毕业之后呢，在San Francisco 有8年的从事这个律师的职业，然后她也帮助过中国计划生育的难民的庇护案。
My first refugee was a woman from China who was persecuted as a Christian and forcibly sterilized. This is how I found out that even though I knew China had a one-child policy, I had no idea that it's currently enforced through forced abortion, forced sterilization, and even infanticide, the killing of infants.
她的第一个计划生育庇护案是一位女士，她是基督徒，然后她在中国呢也被强制的结扎了，然后她来到美国之后，是瑞菊女士帮助了她这个申请庇护，然后那也是瑞菊女士第一次了解到计划生育是究竟是怎样一个惨状在中国。
So can we lower the lights a little bit because I'm going to show a bunch of things on the screen right now. And I got these statistics from Nicholas Everstadt, who is a demographer who's testified before Congress a number of times on this. But as you can see, that in 1953, the sex ratio at birth was 107 boys born for every 100 girls born, and about 2010, it was 119 boys born for every 100 girls born.
这个是一份数据啊，第一列是这个年份，然后后面是这个男婴儿的出生的男婴儿和这个男女比例的这么一份资料。
Okay, next slide, please. And this is the reason that China went from a one-child policy to a two-child policy. They didn't repent for forced abortion. It has nothing to do with human rights. It has to do with the fact that China's working age population it peaked in 2013 and it's now going down. That's why they want more people.
所以这一份资料显示的是，现在中国的工作人群的数量在2013年的时候达到了顶峰，然后现在呢就开始下降了。所以这个就是为什么中国政府现在想要更多的年轻人，就是允许这个二胎这个也。
Next slide, please. And at the same time, as the working age population is going down, the aging population is zooming up. So that's why China was basically forced, for demographic reasons, to move from a one-child policy to a two-child policy.
在这个工作人群的那个比例下降的同时，这个社会老龄化也是一个很严重的问题，也是其中一个很重要的原因。为什么中共会开放2胎？
So I want to play you a video now called "Stop Forced Abortion: China a War Against Women." And this video has, I think, about 80,000 hits on it on the internet. It's really been a major video to show the world the truth about forced abortion and the one-child policy in China.
现在我们要观看一个这个点击量达到8万的这么一个关于中国计划生育的小视频。
I'm a litigation attorney.
我是一名诉讼律师，在90年代，我曾为一名从中国大陆逃出来的当事人做代理，为他在美国寻求政治庇护。他在中国曾被强制结扎。从此，我开始对中国一胎化政策的真实情况有所了解。世界上只有中国的一胎化政策导致了对女权如此严重的践踏，我称之为中国政府针对妇女和女婴的战争。当我说到强制堕胎，我的意思是妇女从家里或街上被强行拉走。这些妇女可能被关押在计生办公室或者是牢房里，然后被强制堕胎，即使已经怀孕9个月了，也不会放过。有些强制堕胎极其暴力，导致母亲与足月的婴儿一同死亡。有一件案例我永远也无法忘记，一位年轻的妇女怀孕7个月了，却没有获得准生证，这就意味着她是非法怀孕。她走在路上的时候被计生干部抓走，直接带到手术台，强制将她非常想要的婴孩流产。最后，一名医务工作人员把死婴拿到她面前说：“你需要付钱，我们才能处理掉这个死婴。”她说：“我身无分文。”于是他们就把死婴放在他的床头。我有当时的一张照片，他正看着死去的孩子抽泣。7个月大的孩子就这样被强行流产了。无论你是赞同还是反对堕胎合法化，这都不是该问题的关键。但是没有人会支持强制堕胎，因为这不是自由的选择，这种暴力必须停止。我之所以建立女权无疆界这个机构，就是为了终止中国的强制堕胎。针对中国境内的强制堕胎问题，我曾经在美国的国会作证，在欧洲议会和美国白宫发言。几年前，当我刚开始从事这项工作的时候，几乎没有人关注中国一胎化政策的问题。现在，通过我们收集的资料和相关报道，已经获得了2个效果。第一，中国共产党已经无法否认一胎化政策所导致的强制堕胎、强制绝育和婴儿非正常死亡的现象。第二，现在几乎每个人都在谈论这个话题。从这一点来看，一胎化政策已经不再是中国的内政问题。停止暴力，停止对中国妇女的迫害。强制堕胎不是自由的选择。
actually spent jail time or been in the Lao guy. You know, I'm just an American. So until I've actually shed my blood, I am not anywhere near close to the way the people here are. Pardon me?
OK。
Oh, okay.
说，对，瑞芝女士说，像江金女士、姚晨女士和伊娃女士，她们都是曾经为就是这个自由和女权主义的这个信念而坐过牢的，她们是真正的英雄，真正的战士。
The Chinese Communist Party has boasted that they have prevented 400 million lives through the one-child policy. That is greater than the entire population of the United States and Canada combined.
中国政府曾经就是很自豪地说，他们阻止了4亿人口的出生。这个数字是美国的人口加上加拿大的人口都没有达到的。
The Chinese Communist Party reports 13 million abortions per year. That works out to 35,000 a day, or more than 1,450 per hour. So during the time that we're speaking here, there will be about 3,000, almost 3,000 abortions in China.
所以
Here is it, 35,000, 13 million a year, 35,000 a day, almost 1,500 an hour.
所以每一年中国的这个强制堕胎有1300万堕胎率，对，然后也就是说每天都有35000个婴儿就这样子死去了，1450个每小时。
Yeah, many of them forced, and forced abortion is official government rape.
而且这个是官方的强奸啊，就是对。
I believe that the Chinese Communist Party will never end coercive population control in China.
他认为中国政府是永远不会停止这个强制的计划生育。
Given the demographic disaster that China is facing in terms of the gender imbalance between men and women and the rapidly aging population, why did they move from a one-child policy to a two-child policy? Why didn't they just get rid of all coercive population control?
面对现在严重的这个性别比例失调和人口老龄化的问题，为什么中共政府不直接就是摒弃这个计划生育，而是要从一胎化转到二胎化政策呢？
I believe that China's forced abortion, forced sterilization policy enables them to keep a grip on the population, on the people, through terror. I believe that the terror of forced abortion and forced sterilization are the purpose of the policy.
他认为中国政府是用这种强制的结扎、强制的流产这种手段，用这种这一些强制所对人们产生的恐惧来控制这个中国的人民。
I believe also that the one-child policy is very profitable for officials in China, and there's one estimate that as many as $314 billion has been received by the Chinese Communist Party in one-child policy fines.
而且这也是一项非常对中共政府和中共的官员来说非常就是能有利可图的。他们曾经有
Number 3, the network of family planning police in China provides an infrastructure of coercion that can be used to crush dissent of any sort. So the army of family planning police can be used to put down any kind of disturbance.
而且中国的武警和他们的民警是有权利，就是强制镇压任何的暴乱暴动。
Okay, so internal Chinese law enforcement data show that there has been a sharp increase in what they call mass incidents. These are like riots, other kinds of problems. So that in 1993 there were 8,700 mass incidents, and now in 2008 there were 120,000 mass incidents. So we've gone from 8,700 in 1993 to 120,000 in 2008. There are more and more rioting going on in China. They need the family planning police to be able to turn in any direction to help put down all kinds of dissent.
中国社会现在社会上存在很多群体性事件，从1993年的8700起，到现在2008年已经上升到了12万起事件，所以中共政府就需要这些计划生育的工作者和这些他们去就是把这些群体性事件镇压下来。
Also, the one-child policy operates on a system of paid informants, so that people who will inform that a woman is illegally pregnant will get paid. And what this does is it breaks or ruptures relationships of trust.
然后这里还有一个就是叫做举报的这么一个情况，如果你举报其他人有就是违规的怀孕什么的话，你是可以得到奖励奖金的。所以这个问题造成了中国社会就是有这个信任问题的存在。
Creating a situation where you can't trust anyone is very useful to the Chinese Communist Party, because if you can't trust anyone, you can't organize for democracy.
所以这个信任问题就是让大家都不能够信任身边的人，这也帮助了中共政府更好的来就是统治人民，因为人民如果不相信身边的人，那他就没有办法很好的组织起来一起革命。
This is the reason I think that China moved from a one-child policy to a two-child policy, because under a two-child policy, the entire infrastructure of coercion remains intact, and you can still forcibly abort people. They want to keep forced abortion because they want to keep the population down. Okay, to me, the one-child policy is social control masquerading or pretending to be population control.
所以他认为这个计划生育政策是中共政府的一种控制这个人口，也同时是控制这些人民的一种手段。
Also, under the new two-child policy, I do not believe that we're going to see an end to gendercide or the sex-selective abortion of baby girls at all.
所以从一胎化转到二胎化也是无法解决这个性别失衡和这个老龄化问题的。
And the reason for this is that there's still forced sterilization after the second baby. And like in my villages, we are reporting that women are forcibly sterilized after the second child.
因为现在妇女还是要接受强制的结扎，当她们生完第二个孩子之后，她们还是会被强制的结扎。
This sterilization breaks the health of the woman. So a woman will lose her strength after this forced sterilization.
这个强制结扎对妇女的身体的侵害和她们的心灵的侵害也是非常大的。
I believe that many women whose first child is a boy will stop with one child. They do not want to have another child because they do not want to be sterilized.
他认为有很多妇女如果生第一胎是男孩之后，他们会就是不想要生第二个，因为他们会害怕生了第二胎之后，他们就会被强制结扎。
People whose first child is a girl, when they will hide their second pregnancy, because if they find out that they're carrying another girl, they're going to abort her because they want to have a boy.
所以如果第一胎生了女孩的人也会始终想要还是会想要把这个女孩藏起来，或者就把她流产掉，因为他们想要。
So I do not believe this new two-child policy does not end forced abortion in China, and it will not end sex-selective abortion in China either. All of the problems under the one-child policy are going to continue under the two-child policy.
所以他认为这个开放二胎并没有解决任何这个一胎政策所造成的问题，性别失调，或者说这个选择性的流产女孩，或者就是没有社会老龄化的问题，一胎化所产生的社会问题完全没有被这个开放二胎化所解决。
So Women's Rights Without Frontiers has two programs of what we're doing about to end the one-child policy.
所以他们女权无疆界还是会坚持要把计划生育这整个政策给。
The first is our international advocacy campaign. So I have testified 8 times at the United States Congress, and I'm here this week to speak at the United Nations. I think this is the 10th time I've spoken at the United Nations. I've briefed the Vatican probably a dozen times. I'm getting the message out about, number one, the truth about what's happening. When I started this work, people didn't even believe that forced abortion was happening in China. Now, what I need to do is tell them it's still happening.
瑞士女士已经在国会作证过超过8次，这个星期她将会第10次在联合国作证，就讲述这些中国正在发生这些问题。因为当她刚开始讲述这些故事的时候，没有人相信，而她就自己一直在做努力，然后让更多的人来关注这些问题。
One of the things I tell governments is that the governments in the West, the United States government and the governments in Europe, are in part responsible for the bloodshed in China under the one-child policy because we are funding something called the United Nations Family Planning Fund, the UNFPA, and also International Planned Parenthood, both of which have been working hand in hand with the Chinese government ever since the beginning of the one-child policy. It's the United Nations Family Planning Fund and International Planned Parenthood, and we are funding that. The United States government and European governments are funding that.
The international adoption.
No, it's not adoption. It's International Planned Parenthood. Okay. Well, just tell them that just the West is funding organizations that are helping coercive population control in China.
他一直都强调说，像在美国或者欧洲，很多政府他们其实是有捐钱给中国的这些计划生育的组织和这些委员会，所以他一直认为西方社会也对这个西方国家也对中国的计划生育是有责任的。
So, we're going to lower the lights. I've got some slides. China's one-child policy causes more violence against women and girls than any other official policy on earth and any other official policy in the history of the world because of the numbers involved. And when you think about it, 1 out of every 5 women in the world is Chinese. So 1 out of every 5 women in the world is dealing with a situation of forced abortion or being pressured to selectively abort her baby girl.
由于这个涉及受害群体的庞大性，中国的计划生育成为了历史上史无前例的这么一个政策，让人类受到这种侵害。世界上有5个当中就有1个女性面对着计划生育的迫害。
So next slide, please. This is the case of Feng Jianmei, who was forced aborted at 7 months. In 2012, I believe it was, maybe it's 2013. 2012. Okay, and Women's Rights Without Frontiers broke this news to the West. It was already on the internet in China, but we broke the news to the West. It caused an international outcry, and the European Parliament, where I had just spoken 3 times, passed a resolution to condemn forced abortion in China, specifically citing the case of Feng Jianmei and also questioning their funding of family planning in China because they were funding the UNFPA and International Planned Parenthood.
这个例子是2012年的时候，已经7个月大的一个婴儿被流产，然后呢，这个新闻已经是在网络上有的，但是女权无疆界就帮助他放在了就是西方的在美国和在一些欧洲的英文的网站上，让大家来知道。
Next slide, please. I began advocating for the case of Chen Guangchen in 2008. And this was one of many congressional hearings in which I advocated for his release. And I was delighted when he actually was released. I mean, I don't take credit for that at all. I'm just saying that it was like the main focus of my life for years and years. So let's show the next slide. We did it with the artist Crazy Crab. I collaborated with people inside of China, and they got Chinese people to wear sunglasses and send pictures to their website, and I got people outside of China to wear sunglasses and send it to us, and then Crazy Crab put these all together into the image of Chen Guangchen, and that's me and Congressman Chris Smith, Congressman Chris Smith is the best congressman in the United States Congress on Chinese human rights, joined our sunglasses campaign. Next slide.
他从2008年的时候就开始为释放陈光诚的这个事业开始去国会演讲啊，然后他也让中国的人让他们戴上墨镜，然后拍照，因为陈光诚先生是一个盲人嘛，而让中国的人拍照戴这个墨镜，然后也让这一边美国的人拍这些照片，然后用这些小的照片一个一个组成了刚才我们看到的这一幅这个画。然后这一张呢是Reggie 女士和一个国会议员史密斯
Congressman Chris Smith, yeah.
对，国会议员 Smith。
And it was absolutely the most thrilling moment in my life when Chen Guangchen finally arrived in the United States. And he's now a friend of mine. This is something that is like beyond my wildest dreams. So many wonderful things. People say, oh, you're so great, you've sacrificed so much. Well, you know what? Chen Guangchen, Jingzhang, I have amazing people in my life.
大家都说他为这个中国的妇女权益事业做出了很多，但他觉得他能够认识像陈光诚啊、像张晶女士，是他自己非常开心的一件事情。他觉得他很享受做这件事情。
And I advocated for Chen Guangchen so many times on Voice of America that when Chen Guangchen had his first actual appearance on Voice of America from the United States, I was interviewed together with him, and that was, again, it was almost surreal what an amazing experience that was for me.
这个是陈光诚第一次在美国之音中国电台上，然后呢，瑞珠女士跟他一起就是参加采访。
Okay, next slide, please. Oh, I even got to meet the Pope. So yeah, I got to go to meet the Pope and tell him about our work, the situation in China, and our work to stop forced abortion and sex-selective abortion in China.
这个是他和教皇那个 Pope 见面的时候，然后他也跟 Pope 说了中国的这些计划生育的这些情况。
And then the other thing, that's our international advocacy campaign. The other thing we're doing is we have a network on the ground in China of field workers where we find out about women who are either pregnant with a girl and have scheduled themselves for an abortion, or they've given birth to a girl and their family, usually their mother-in-law, is pressuring them to abandon their baby girl.
这个是
No, I just want you to go ahead and do this.
在中国就是他们就去寻找这些。有一些女生就是怀孕了，可能是女生，然后他们的婆家可能希望他们流产，希望他们然后女权无疆界就去找到这些家庭，找到这些孕妇。
Next slide, please. So these are the faces of some of our baby girls. We've saved over 200 baby girls, and the way this works is this. We will actually, when we find out about a woman who's being pressured to abort or abandon her baby girl, we will go to her door and say, please do not abort or abandon your baby girl. She's a precious daughter. We will give you a monthly stipend for a full year to empower you to keep your daughter. And we have saved over 200 baby girls with this program.
这个活动他们就去中国找到这些将要遗弃女婴的这些妈妈，告诉他们说。不要遗弃女婴，我们可以资助你，我们可以帮助你，然后我们希望你把这个女儿留下来。然后他们在中国已经拯救了超过200个女婴。
It's currently estimated that there are about 37 million more men living in China than women, and this figure is driving human trafficking and sexual slavery.
现在有超过就是中国的男女比例失调非常的严重。37 million 3700万，就是有3700万，就是多的男生。
So, if the Chinese Communist Party actually wants to stop the sex-selective abortion of baby girls, they can do what I'm doing. This is a very simple program, and it works. And I think that they should implement a similar program to help save baby girls in China.
这个项目并不难，如果中共政府是真的希望能够做一些事情的话，它是可以很简单的就做到这些事情的。
And then our Save a Girl program also saved one individual girl, which is Zhang Annie Zhang, the daughter of Zhang Lin.
这个是张琳的女儿安妮，也是他们这个项目拯救的其中一个女孩。
And so when I speak about Annie, I have to speak about Jing Zhang because without her, I never would have even found out about Annie. And I have to speak about Yao Cheng, who just got out of spending 1 year and 10 months in jail for helping Annie. And I have to speak about this gentleman, and I'm sorry, I don't know your name? Frank. Because Frank and Jing were the ones who, and Yao Cheng, we were all together, and the first time I ever spoke with Annie, Jing called me up, she said, there's this girl Annie, and she told me about that she was the daughter of Zhang Lin. Zhang Lin is this huge pro-democracy hero who keeps getting in jail because of his pro-democracy activism, and now they've detained his daughter Annie, and would I like to speak with her on the phone?
他要感谢张晶女士、希诺先生还有姚晨先生，是因为他们把安妮的情况告诉他，然后告诉他她是张琳的女儿，张琳因为做这些人权民运的活动而被关押在监狱里，然后呢，她有一个女儿 Annie 也是被中共政府给。
So the first time I spoke to Annie, I was sitting in my home in San Jose, and Jing and Frank were in New York, and Yao Cheng and Zhang Lin and Annie were in China. And that was our first conversation together. It was on an international radio program.
他第一次跟安妮说话的时候是张晶女士和希诺先生在纽约这边，然后呢张琳女士、小安妮和姚晨先生在中国那边，他们通过这个网络视频电话通的话。
So at the end of that radio that radio show, Frank said, "You're a women's rights activist in China. Annie is an up-and-coming activist." He said, "You're a women's rights activist in America, and Annie is up-and-coming in China. Would you like to speak to each other?" And I said yes, and Annie said yes. So our first conversation was, Annie. Well, what did you just say? What I just said?
希诺先生就当时打电话的时候，希诺先生就跟 Reggie 女士说：“你是美国的一个人权运动者，然后 Annie 呢，她将会是未来的一个人权运动者。那你们想不想通话呢？”
And I said to her, Annie, I am so impressed with your intelligence. I'm so impressed with how articulate you are. I'm so impressed with how brave you are.
他就告诉 Annie 说：“我觉得你非常的勇敢，非常的。”
Okay. If you would remain true, if you would remain humble, if you would remain pure, you can help lead your people to freedom.
他就跟 Annie 说，如果你能够一直这样纯粹的有勇气、有信心为这个中国的人民而奋斗的话，你是会有这个能力和这个机会的。
After that conversation, the Chinese Communist Party put Annie and her father Zhang Lin under house arrest. They were under house arrest for months. They finally escaped house arrest. They became fugitives running from the law, and then they finally were caught. And when they were caught, Zhang Lin called Jing, and Jing called me.
这次通话之后呢，张琳先生和他的女儿安妮就被中共政府。他们就从那个中共政府软禁他们的地方逃出来，然后后来可是最终也是又被中共政府给抓回去。然后那个时候呢，张琳女士就又打电话给。
And Jing said, Zhang Lin and Annie want Annie to get out of China because Annie cannot lead a normal life in China.
张琳女士就说，我们希望把安妮送到美国来，因为她在中国无法有一个正常的生活。
And I said, well, where is she going to go?
瑞女士问，那她要去哪呢？
And he said, well, we don't know.
张女士说，我们不知道。
And I said, wait, let me call my husband.
然后瑞女士就说，好，让我打电话给我的丈夫。
And my husband said, Reggie, is this the Chinese daughter that you've always wanted?
她的丈夫就问她说，这是你一直想要的一个中国的女儿吗？
And so brave people, the bravest of whom is Yao Cheng sitting right here. We were able, with Jing's help and also Congressman Chris Smith's help and Cheng Guan-chen's help, we were able to get Annie and her older sister Ruli out of China, and my husband and I are now raising them as our own daughters.
感谢这些勇敢的人权战士姚晨先生、张金女士，然后还有那个陈光诚先生，然后还有那个国会的史密斯议员，然后 Annie 终于可以来到美国，然后还有她的姐姐，然后现在的 Reggie 女士就收养了他们2位当做自己的女儿。
My beautiful daughters, John Lynn's beautiful daughters. So Ruli, she goes by Lily. She's now 21. She's on her own. We taught her to drive. We got them both political asylum, helped them learn English, and Lily now has her own car. We got her a donated car, but that wasn't good enough, so she went out and bought her own car with money she had made. So she's independent. She is doing great. She's working in a real estate office in San Francisco. So if you know anybody in San Francisco who wants to buy or sell a house, let me know and I'll let Lily know because she can do this.
那个 Lily 是这个张丽女士的大女儿，她现在已经21岁了，然后她现在在美国学习了英文，然后学习开车，然后 Reggie 女士也帮她买了。是一部捐赠的汽车，然后他现在自己在那个地产办公室工作，在三藩市。大家如果以后要去三藩市买房子，可以找。
Next slide, please. And yes, so this is Annie on her 12th birthday. Next slide, please.
是 Annie 的12岁生日。
Lily on her 21st birthday.
是 Lily 的21岁生日。
Next slide, please. Okay, and then Annie just turned 13. She's a straight A, top student at her school.
Annie 刚刚13岁，她现在是他们就是成绩非常的好。
Especially good at math and science, like her father.
她的科学和数学都非常好，像她爸爸一样。
And she started playing piano after she got to the United States because we have a beautiful piano and we gave her lessons.
瑞士女士家里有一台钢琴，然后呢，Annie 就从到美国之后就开始学习弹钢琴。
And she just won an international piano competition to play in Carnegie Hall, and she'll be playing in Carnegie Hall in December.
她刚刚获得了一个国际性的大奖，她去参加在那个卡内基音乐厅的一个国际性的。钢琴比赛获奖了，然后今年12月，他也将再一次在卡内基音乐厅表演。
So the people who got here early actually got to see a video of Annie playing, but if anybody after we're done, if people want to hear it, I can play it again. She's brilliant. She's a genius.
他他刚才我们来之前，他放了一个 Annie 就是弹钢琴的视频啊。等下大家如果有兴趣，也可以留下来听这个。他非常的有天分。
But every time I look into the eyes of Annie, I think about all the beauty and all the brilliance that is being lost through forced abortion in China.
每一次他看见 Annie 的时候，他都会想到说，这些美丽的女孩就这样子被中国的政策给。
Annie was almost forcibly aborted when her mother was pregnant with her because she was Zhang Lin's second child.
因为 Annie 也是就是第2个小孩嘛，所以她差一点就也被中共政府给杀死了。
She's also a second daughter, and second daughters are routinely aborted just because they're girls.
而且她是第2个女孩啊，她有一个姐姐。
So just having her in my home and just enjoying her beauty and her brilliance makes me all the more determined to stop forced abortion and stop sex-selective abortion in China.
她收养了 Annie 之后，她就每一次在家里看她的时候，她就更加有决心要去停止中国的这种残忍的计生政策。
Next slide, please. That's our family. That's my awesome husband, our 2 daughters. Next slide. That's it. Thank you very much.